Hello, English 101 students. It's Mr. Gibson again, your English teacher. You get a special one-on-one video this week because you're special. And actually, we're doing something quite different. And I'm a little concerned simply because many of you are strictly doing your Compass work and not logging into your emails, or if you are logging into your emails, you're deleting everything and just throwing it in the trash. Or you're not checking Blackboard, which, yes. So I preface what I'm about to say with all of that, why I'm concerned. Because for the next 3 or 4 weeks, there will be no Compass learning work at all. None whatsoever. In fact, if you are paying attention to Compass, you'll see that it goes from week 6 to week 11. Many of you might not even catch that. You're just clicking, going along the line and just clicking on folders and opening them up. And so because of that, because you might not have caught that, and that there's something different, wait a second, it's going from 6 to 11, I've inserted a folder in there with really nothing in there. I had to put something in there, so I put a test, which is something that you'll see rarely, but I put a test in there. So if you're watching this, though, you won't have a problem with it. Some people aren't going to watch this, and they're going to go in there and they're going to think, I need to take the Odyssey test. But they don't have to, because if they read the folder, it says, do not do this folder, check your email, check Blackboard. And then as you click into it, it says, check email again, we're doing something different. As you keep clicking in, I try to put messages in there, and finally there's a chapter test that you don't have to do. I even write, do not take this test. We'll see how many people take that test. We'll see. Yeah, I'm a little concerned. So for the next 3 or 4 weeks, we are going to be studying this book here. Da, 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 da. Exciting. It's Mythology by Edith Hamilton. It's quite an extensive read. There's a lot of pages, and the words are really small. But I have some good news for you. You will not have to read this entire book. In fact, there's a few books that I believe we need to read the entire book of, especially if they're 350 pages long and the print is size 2 and the font 2 or whatever. There's some books that are reasonable, it's reasonable to read the entire story, because if you just take little parts, it's not as fulfilling. You don't get everything you need to get from it. And so, but this book, it's not necessarily just one story. It's obviously mythology. So it's literally every single character, Greek god, every little minuscule story that's ever been told in Greek mythology is contained in this book. And so that's too much. If you read it, even if you read it for fun, there's no way you remember all the information from this book. And so what I'm doing is picking out what I think are the most important parts from the book to make it more manageable for you, more doable, and not as overwhelming. And so what you need to do is log into Blackboard, because literally all the assignments are going to be posted through Blackboard. You'll have quizzes on Blackboard. You'll have writing assignments on Blackboard. I've tried to do it similar to Compass. So I've picked out some videos you can watch. There's Jim Henson's Storytellers, that they covered some Greek mythology stories that I'm going to post in there as the weeks come up. Those will be fun to watch. You can get to feel the stories a little better just by watching the videos like that. I'm going to be posting lectures from me. Yeah, so it's all going to be on Blackboard. I'm still going to be sending you emails. You still need to do your journal prompts, but just no Compass work for a few weeks. We'll see how this goes. I think many of you will listen and watch me tell you to do this, and you'll do it, but many of you, I'm afraid, who aren't watching this are going to do poorly and have some catching up to do. So anyway, but what you need to do is come into the school and pick up a copy of Edith Hamilton's Mythology. Because if you don't, then you're not going to be able to do well in the next 3 or 4 weeks. You're not having a fancy little guy lecture to you about these stories, and you're not going to be able to read the text on the internet. So either you need to find a copy of this at a library, or you need to come in and check one out. Now, I know that some of you are in parts of the world where it's not possible, or it's very inconvenient to try and get a book like this. So in that case, I will do my best to scan the certain excerpts that I will require you to read. I'll scan those and try to put those on the computer. It's not as fun to read on the computer. I don't like to read on the computer, especially when the print is that small. It doesn't really look small on the internet, or on the computer. Anyway, it's also filled with, fun, vibrant pictures. I mean, look at this. Look at that stuff. Doesn't it just pop out at you? You even forget you're reading a book. It's like you're watching a movie. I'm just kidding. Actually, all of them they look like they were drawn a long time ago. But, anyway. And so we'll have discussions about it. We'll have our discussion board open, and you'll do some assignments through there. You'll take quizzes, like I said. You'll have tests. You'll be required to watch some videos and write responses to them. So it's going to be interesting, and we're going to have at the end it's a project that you will be working on. I'll give you the requirements for that later. It should be really fun because I want to make these to where you express your talents in them. So if you really love to write research papers or essays, you'll have that option. If you really like to draw and make comics, you'll have that option. If you think it'd be fun to take one of these stories and create an idea for a video game, I'll give you the requirements for that. You have that option. If you want to write your own mythology story, if you like creative writing, you'll have that option. So there's lots of options you can choose from. They'll all have requirements. You can't just go out and do whatever you want. I will have requirements for each one, and a rubric. Rubric is what I use for scoring, how I grade your work. There's different categories, different tiers to those categories. So I'll also show you that. But it should be fun. Just make sure you come in this week because we're starting. I think in 2 weeks we're starting, but you need to start now to get this book. You need to come in and get the book. Check it out. Go to the library and check one out. Find a book. And if you can't come in, if you're some of the students that I talked about that are around the world, you can't come in. It's just not possible. You can't find this book. Email me, and I will scan those and send those to you via email. So we have those options. I'm bendable, moldable. I just need you to communicate with me and tell me what needs to happen, and I'll do my best to adjust and change and mold. But so yeah, this week your assignments are to go on the compass, do your work there, do your journal prompt, and come in and pick up this book. Okay? All right, good. Have a great 5th week, and we will talk to you next week. Bye. Oh, wait, yeah. Book reports are due, too, by Sunday.